Despite what the Canadian media would have you to believe, Canada is home to many faith communities of whom oppose abortion. Yet the majority of Canadians still have no idea that Canada has zero abortion laws whatsoever. Many Canadians also face persecution for this very belief. The children in the womb have rights, and amongst them, their most fundamental right, their right to life, and that abortion is a wrong in any society in which it exists. One recent example of this is that of Raphael Zaki. He was a former medical student at the University of Manitoba's Max Rady College of Medicine. When Zaki espoused of his pro-life views, he was challenged for them. He was targeted. And when asking to recant his views and then change them, and he refused, he was kicked out of his university. Now, Zaki is a Coptic Christian who fled with his parents from Egypt due to religious persecution, only to face the very discrimination they fled here at home. Another recent example of such persecution stems out of Nunavut, where a former cabinet minister was completely stripped of his entire ministerial portfolio for talking about Black Lives Matter and Black babies being aborted. In a 31-word post on Facebook, the former cabinet minister stated, and I quote, "All lives matter. Just thinking aloud, the movement on BLM, or Black Lives Matter. I wonder how many Black ladies go through abortion, and at what stage of the gestation. Are these not lives too?" End of quote. In the official government statement released after the minister's dismissal from his portfolio, the government of Nunavut stated that this was about diversity, equality, and fairness for all. Yet in the silencing and removal of this one dissenting pro-life voice, it was not only a slam against pro-life citizens, but Canadian citizens in general. Now, seeing as abortion is the primary subject in which I've been discussing thus far, many people say, well, what does the Bible really have to say about abortion? Totally granted, it does not use modern terminology such as abortion, nor does it use terminology such as sex trafficking. And yet it does still directly speak to these very issues. As a pro-life Christian myself, I know that the Bible calls me to specifically speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, as well as rescue those being led away to death, to hold back those staggering towards slaughter. Not only am I, as a Christian, supposed to speak up for the vulnerable, to be their advocates, but also to be the protector and defender of the vulnerable. This includes both those born and preborn. In both cases with Raphael Zaki, as well as with the now former cabinet minister, neither was about equality, diversity, nor fairness. Both men were asked to not only recant of their pro-life worldviews, but to change them. And in refusing to do so, they were both arbitrarily removed from their positions. Both of their freedoms were completely disregarded in what some deem to be popular opinion. In a free society where values, opinions, and ideals are exchanged, this lends to our collective innovation, diversification, but most importantly, it allows minority voices to be heard. An excellent example of such freedoms being exercised was recently seen in British Columbia, where an American organization put up advertisements calling for and advocating for the reduction of the population by people only having one child. In opposition to this worldview, a conservative member of parliament crowdfunded, asking for money to put up bus ads to put up a different worldview, which stated a Mother Teresa quote saying, "How can there be too many children? That would be like saying there are too many flowers." Two different worldviews freely exchanged. Whenever you see your fellow citizens' freedoms under attack, even if you disagree with their worldview, if you do not stand up for their freedoms, your values, your beliefs, your opinions, your worldviews may very well be under attack next. For True North, I'm Mattea Merta.